pumped. This is the real deal. Okay. We want to introduce again?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Tompkins Orchestra's podcast. Today, I'm Rithik and I'm here with our host,
Vicky.
and
Charles.
And they're accompanied by none other than Andrew Pooh.
Yeah.
Incredible. Thank you so much for announcing our podcast. We're thinking about a name. What do you guys think about tuning into Tompkins? Like orchestra, like tuning in, like you're tuning into the orchestra.
Wow, very cool.
I think that's a very good name for what it's supposed to stand for. I think it could have a better ring to it, but
Okay.
it is what it sounds like.
What's
so.
a better ring?
Well,
Like, give me one.
Come on, it has
don't
alliteration,
like
it has puns.
That's crazy.
well, I'm not really sure, because...
Figurative language.
Yeah, figurative language.
Guys, is this English class?
Yes, actually.
Everything is English class.
We're in school. So.
You use English class for everything in your life. Like, it's actually the worst thing ever. No, it's wonderful.
Yeah, English class doesn't do it for me.
Do you like reading the books in English at least?
Yeah, the books are good, but like the things they make us do are really...
Oh, you're a
Not
sophomore, right?
Yes, I am.
You're about to read Animal Farm, and it's actually
Yeah,
a really
I-
good unit.
I do know about it.
Animal Farm is a tough book. I like it.
You've already read Animal
I
Farm?
read it before.
It's
Yeah,
really
a cool
good.
book.
Animal Farm is so good.
And it's like a quick read, but it has a lot of depth into it. A lot of kids complain during that unit. I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good book. It did exactly what the author wanted it to do. The themes that it conveyed.
The themes that it conveyed. It conveyed
English.
themes. It did what books do.
Yeah, it did. But
Some books don't
he got
convey
his
themes.
point across in a very intelligent way.
All right, so that actually is kind of our topic for today. We're talking about how GPA defines us. So in the orchestra room, we have a poster that says GPA does not define you. And that's kind of, I think the way it's supposed to be interpreted is more of like a positive way. And like, if you have a low GPA, doesn't mean...
Okay, I'm taking over the podcast now, guys. Because our hosts are not able to handle what's going
What is
on
wrong with him?
in our environment.
It's not my fault. He's a weird. Did you hear the tapping of his ladder?
Yeah, he's just trying to put up his poster.
All right, let's
Don't
go
do
back to
that.
GPA. So, how does GPA define us? And like, I think the poster is trying to tell us that if we have a low GPA, that's okay, and that it's not the most important thing in the world. But what do you guys think about that?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of different ways to think about this, because obviously it's like, it feels like a way of comparing yourself, but it's also doesn't really feel that effective, especially, well, Seven Lakes got blacklisted from a couple of colleges.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, because not really blacklisted as in just they don't consider their GPA anymore because of the cheating that occurred there.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
I heard that happened to Tompkins.
It did for a while.
They said, yeah.
Are we done with that now? Will my GPA count? Because I need that.
Well, I'm not entirely sure if it will, but
Damn.
again, every college is different, and the issue here is that even if we work really hard for the GPA, there's always gonna be also people that cheat and get above us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're still smart, but they get the same thing with much less work than we do, and that's why I feel like GPA isn't really a good comparison of how intelligent a person is.
So you agree with the more holistic view that schools are doing now?
Yes, but I also do think that GPA matters to a certain extent as to how much you work on things. But at the end of the day, it's not who you are, and it's not all you are, as many people do tend to think.
That's really smart, Rithik. You got some nice comments there. What do you think, Charles?
Like, I don't know, man. I'm a freshman.
You can talk a little louder.
I'm not like experienced with like GPA and all that yet.
But grades in general, what do you think?
Grades are, I mean, like,
How's the switch from middle school to high school? I mean, that's a huge... I remember I did so bad during freshman year because it was so different from middle school.
I'm doing very great now. I'm
That's good.
not getting bad grades at all ever. Like, not. Yeah.
Well, I don't think... Bad grades is a different definition for everyone. To a lot of people who are high achievers, a bad grade would be like a B.
Yeah, well, I'm getting like.
Well, I don't need to...
Moving on. Bro, I
Okay,
feel like
so like I think GPA is like something that the USA really emphasizes, but like it's not what the actual number is to high schoolers. It's more of like the rank, because GPA is just a number, right? But you have rank, so you can compare yourself to other people, and if you're a competitive person, you're gonna compare yourself to other people. So I think it can maybe define us in some ways, but not in like social constructs or anything else like that. It's more on perspective.
Well, I do agree with that a lot, because the thing is that GPA, the number itself, can be manipulated. Like, people, I'm not sure if you know, but the KDISD will eventually allow people to exempt Algebra 1
Sorry, what?
from a 4.0 from their GPA. So their
What?
GPA, compared to previous years, will seem to be higher. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that they did better necessarily.
Okay,
just
that's kind of
that
crazy.
the rules were more in favor of them. And so it's more of how you compare to the people around you, like as in your rank. But even then, rank itself doesn't matter that much.
Oh, despite this, the ranks in orchestra are crazy. Like, every year we have at least one in the top 10. Am I wrong?
I'm sure there's more than one every year.
I think last year we had...
Possibly 3 or 4.
No, we had 2 last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we had 2. We had Russell and Peter.
Yeah, we had 2. And the year before that, did we have 2 or did we have 1?
I know we had Alex and Sal.
Was Eugene top 10?
I think so.
We had a lot. What about
Yeah.
this year?
This year,
I think we'll have at least 1.
I know for... Well, I can't really leak that yet. It's
Don't
not-
leak that, no,
it's
no.
not- it's not- But I'm sure there's plenty in for orchestra in top 10.
It's kind of crazy how, like, we're such an academically based extracurricular.
Some level of stress is necessary, because if you're not being stressed, if you're not facing problems, then are you really living life? Because there's more to life than just enjoying everything you do.
Well, I'd actually disagree with that.
If you stress now, you'll stress less in 20
Because
years.
there's this like thing where if you love your job, you won't work a day, which isn't true. But what do you want to do with your life? Like what, do you have a major thought out yet for college?
Well, I would like to go into medicine, but
Oh, really?
But it's not even... I really do love the study of human biology and treating people, and even just the idea of helping people in general. And it's not just for the money, as people would expect. But I feel like... Well, there is a bit of passion to it, but it's still work at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one.
Oh, no, I don't think that being a doctor is bad. I just, it is still work, but, like, I want to go into, like, a creative field. So my work would be challenging, but it is something I enjoy. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Instead of working an office 9 to 5, which doesn't appeal to me, but appeals to other people, this is just, like, choosing the right career for you.
Yeah, I'm particularly against 9 to 5 jobs in particular. I mean,
really?
There needs to be like some sort of variety in your life. Like if you're a doctor, like an emergency room doctor or something, you've got like plenty of like different shifts. Like you work night shifts, you work day shifts, like sometimes 12-hour, 24-hour shifts, and they're really crazy. But if you love what you do, then there's almost a bit of enjoyment when you do it.
Andrew, do you have like a major thought out yet?
No, I do not. I'm still figuring it out. So, to get back on that GPA part, yeah, I'm just saying, like, GPA, it's just something that college is made to, like, basically measure your achievement in high school, and it's just one part of many, but a lot of students really mistake it. Like, they really make mistakes of emphasizing GPA over everything else. It's I don't particularly feel like GPA is the only thing that you can do in high school to achieve, but a lot of people really emphasize that, and sometimes it gets really annoying. It takes away from their social life, and it takes away from other things that they can actually do.
Well, colleges look at a more holistic view nowadays because it's more like they want to see that you're in extracurriculars. They want to see that you're doing interesting things. They just want to see who you are as a person. And I feel like GPA plays a role into that. And GPA just shows colleges that you have the academic strengths to be able to excel in their courses and graduate, which is ultimately what they want. There's also alternatives. So if you don't have the highest GPA but you want to go to an academic college, you could try to score high on the SAT, but that's a whole different thing.
But on the subject of the SAT, I do feel like it is a much better measure of how intelligent someone is in English and math than GPA is. Because GPA is a lot more subjective, whereas SAT, theoretically, should be the same difficulty every single time.
The SAT is a psychology test. That's what it is first. It's a test to see how students do under stress and pressure. And it's I already took an SAT. And I've gone to like the SAT tutoring because you need to do all those things. I want to do those things to succeed instead of studying on my own. And the question types, the time, also they changed it so that the second module will adapt to how well you did in the last one. So you'll get a harder and easier one. So the SAT is kind of a good measure, but it also puts students under a lot of stress for like one testing period and sees how they do in that environment. Charles, do you have like a major thought out?
No, not yet. I'm not there yet.
Do you have anything? No, not like you have to, but like in freshman year, I don't think I did, but I had like, I wanted to be a vet, a rock star, maybe a director.
You know, I mean, I would be a rock star.
You'd be a rock star?
I would be a vet too. I would really be anything. There's so many like options out in the world.
That's a good point. There are a lot of options.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, just going back to like what we were talking about rank earlier, I feel like it's not as important as a lot of people think because like maybe someone who isn't ranked as high at such a competitive school like Tompkins, maybe if you go to a different school that's not as competitive, you would be ranked a lot higher. So it's really it's not the best way to measure. I feel like people stress rank too much. I don't think colleges really care that much about it either. And I feel like you're talking about the SAT, right? You're talking about how the SAT is really important, but you know, I feel like it's just one test. Like if I feel like I don't like the concept of maybe you just didn't do great on the test and now your entire like college future is kind of messed up now.
Well, the benefit of the SAT is you can take it multiple times. Also some colleges will take a super score, which I think is kind of crazy, where they'll take your best reading and your best math from any SAT and put it together. So if you got an 800 in your reading SAT on your first try, but then your second try didn't do too hot on the reading, but you did really good in the math, you can combine those two scores and send that to colleges. But it's only a few colleges. I think UT is one of the colleges that takes it, but I don't know about any other ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like, you know, that might not be the best decision for colleges, in my opinion. But I don't know. I've never taken like a SAT or a PSAT, so I wouldn't know about that.
Don't worry, it's real exciting, and it's not that bad. It's just an endurance test. There's also in college. Do you guys think you're gonna keep doing orchestra while you're in college? I mean, it's a huge commitment. I know a lot of the graduating seniors didn't really continue with college orchestras, but maybe they did continue in their own private practice. What do you guys think?
Well, I would definitely love to continue orchestra. I am concerned about the time commitment and all of that, but I think if I do need to drop it to be successful in where I really want to go, then I feel like it's something that I have to do. But I have several times considered a career as a musician and the amount of fun that it would be. Just other concerns it's kind of put that thought out of my mind, and it feels like I'm passionate about multiple things, and I feel like that is a decision for later time once I've developed a bit more and lived life a bit more.
Yeah, so like music is basically something, it's a skill, right? So you always want to spread that skill. It's something cool. Like if you see like some random guy on the street playing violin or like playing some like really cool passage on the piano or something, it's cool, right? So like you just want to keep on doing it. It's a skill that some people don't want to lose, and I feel like if I were to go into college, I would keep on playing my cello. I would keep on playing piano. I would keep on doing anything music related because it's just cool. It's just really nice to have that skill set.
Have you guys seen those guys on TikTok or like on YouTube Shorts or on Instagram Reels, because there's 100 different versions of that kind of content nowadays, where they go into public and they have their instruments and they're playing it, and no, there's one that's piano. He plays piano, and he's like at the airport. He's like, this super talented violinist just played out of nowhere with me. Have you seen those?
It's definitely clickbait.
Yeah, I've seen those, and I to some extent really dislike them.
Why?
Because I feel like they're really trying to put something out there instead of just showing that it's a performance. They're trying to really push the idea that, oh, he just showed up out of nowhere and they just happened to have 7 cameras around. And I feel like that's really just not a great way. And it kind of also fosters like a false impression of musicians. They'll be like always carrying our music and our instruments around.
No, they memorized it.
Yeah.
They're the professional ones.
But it really just like pushes this image that all people who do music are only doing music. Like they don't have anything else to do with their lives. They're just pursuing their instrument. They always have it with them, and it's
That's interesting because I really like those videos. I think they're definitely fake, but I appreciate the way I keep changing my audio is so funny. But I definitely appreciate the idea, the fact that they're pushing forward this I don't know, they're making music more popular. Like the average listener of classical music, maybe they've never heard classical music before in their life, and they're in that airport and they heard a live performance, and suddenly that's something they want to get into or they want to look into. Like that makes it interesting for them. Adds a level of interest.
Well, it's not just classical music. Like some people, you can play rock, you can play like some rap songs or anything like that. It's just cool, you know. And then, back to those videos. Like it may be fake, but like as you can see in those videos, everybody around it loves it. So it's more like a win-win situation. You get views and people like it, unless you think it's fake. Which means like I don't know, you're a hater or something. But like I
that was the wrong one. I meant to put the laugh track.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Ha ha ha. I'm kind of neutral on those videos. No, I changed my mind. I like those videos. I like those videos.
He has a stance.
Yeah, I do have a stance.
What do you think, Charles?
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with if they're fake, they're fake. I don't care. I think they're doing good in the world because, like, let's say you're just like scrolling on your phone or something like that, and then you've never listened to classical music before, and you hear that and you're like, wow, that's so cool, and then you start getting into like music and stuff. Maybe that might not happen for everybody, but I think I don't really care if it's fake or not. Like the message and the intentions are good. It's not harming anybody, at least. There's so many worse things you could be doing.
What do you think about that kind of content being translated to different genres of music? So like maybe some rap out of nowhere. Like one friend gets the beat going and then you have another person rapping. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think it's cool. Like, yeah, like if somebody, different people like different types of music. So if you're into that, and then it appeals to some of the audience more. They if you think about it from the perspective of the content creators, they want more people to watch their videos.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna, they're obviously gonna try to do as much as they can to push their content out to a bigger audience, and try different kinds of music.
Well, personally, I haven't listened to a lot of rap. The rap
Really?
The rap that I have listened to came mainly from Andrew.
Really? We're trying to figure out.
Sitting in Spanish class listening to stuff.
What rap do you listen to?
What rap?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What rap do you listen to?
Well, my favorite type of rap is jazz rap because those are my two favorite genres.
Yeah.
Except for classical music's great. Those are my three favorite genres: classical, jazz, and rap. But because jazz is amazing, like for jazz, it's just really cool to see people like improvise like randomly out of nowhere. It's a really cool thing.
I like the like lo-fi rap, like the chill ones.
Well, I haven't listened to rap that much, so I can't really speak either against or on behalf of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite type of music, but I can definitely see why some people would like it. It's catchy, but most of the time when I listen to music, I'm not really looking for that kind of thing that I can really get into. I'm trying to kind of like a little more emotion, which I think is why I like classical music, but not so blunt with it as to like actually saying it. I do like the nonverbal aspect.
So are you a Swiftie?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
But on the subject of Swifties,
Oh no.
I do think it's a bad thing for people to really be fanatics about certain people.
I think it matters. It matters. That's not what I would say. I think it depends. It varies. Swifties just have their fun. If they're not hurting anyone.
But yeah, that's where my problem shows out. Like if someone tries to express their opinion and like say Swifties around them are just beating down on them, trying to say, oh no, Taylor Swift is awesome and she's the best, then I feel like then it is definitely hurting someone. And I feel like there are a lot of people like that in the world.
Have you been personally hurt by a Swiftie? Or do you need to talk about this?
I
Are you okay?
haven't been personally hurt by a
You
Swiftie,
okay?
but
better?
I have
Yeah.
seen people and heard people talking about Taylor Swift in a way that I find is almost irrational.
Irrational.
As in, they can't hear any more external opinions,
Oh.
and it's just they're going after
That's
this
like
one
a Taylor
type.
Swift extremist.
Yeah,
I've never encountered a Taylor Swift. I don't know who you've been meeting, but I'm sorry. That must be tough.
He probably finds his information on like the short form content, you know.
Oh yeah, YouTube Reels,
well, I actually
YouTube Shorts.
I deleted YouTube.
You deleted YouTube?
Yeah.
What are you doing in your free time?
Uh,
You study, aren't you're on that GPA
I
game, aren't you?
don't. I
Yeah,
actually,
he is.
I actually play Brawl Stars now.
No.
Way too
no,
much.
no.
Way
He's
too
on the
much.
GPA grind. No.
Guys,
He's on
No,
the GPA
what?
grind.
Rithik practices his cello in his free time for 7 hours
7
every
hours.
day.
Every day.
8 hours
Every
maybe.
single day.
Yep.
It takes 7 hours of mom pushing to practice cello.
His mom doesn't push him.
No,
He's just
no,
being
he
humble,
just do
guys.
it
He's being
himself.
very humble
Your mom
right now.
pushes you to play cello?
She does.
How does that work?
Because she essentially capitalized on the fact that it's extremely expensive.
Oh,
The
yeah.
commitment that because lessons are extremely expensive.
Yeah.
And now we're in the process of actually buying a cello, which is a certain amount, like a
Oh,
very
it's
large
so
amount.
expensive. I
Yeah.
bought my cello. I bought my cello last year, sort of. Yeah, it was this spring. It was expensive, but it was a smarter decision than to continue to rent. It made more sense.
Yeah, but although continuing to rent is more expensive, it also feels like there's a huge amount of money leaving in
All at
such a
once.
short
Mhm.
time, and they really capitalize on that and tell me that if they're paying so much for me for my lessons, and if I don't practice, then I'm not really doing the money justice.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to achieve what the money has told me to achieve.
I think as long as you're still enjoying what you're doing, I think that's really good for you to
Yeah.
continue to enjoy your instrument and just enjoy orchestra because it's such a short time period. I don't think I'll be able to make the commitment to orchestra while I'm in college, which is so disappointing because I don't think I'm at the level where I would get accepted. Plus, you kind of are forced into being a music minor if you want to do that, and that's not something I want to do in my life currently. Maybe I'll go back to college, be a music minor. So I feel like next year will be my last year being actually in orchestra, and I'm really glad to have been in such a great district.
Yeah, I agree, because orchestra has honestly been probably one of the highlights of my freshman year. The sophomore year just started for me. But in freshman year, this always felt like kind of the one period where I wasn't just go, get stuff done. And it's more of, even though it's still rehearsing, trying to be efficient, getting stuff done, it feels like it's something you all enjoy and you have a mutual love for.
Yeah.
I feel like something that sets
Keep
orchestra apart from everything else is like, you know, I've been in orchestra for 3 years in middle school, and it's always like before you go to orchestra, like you're thinking about, oh, I have orchestra next, and you look forward to it. Like when you're like it's in the morning, you're in morning classes. You think that, oh, I have orchestra coming up soon, and you know I get to go and see my friends and play music in orchestra.
Unless you have a playing test.
Unless you have a
Oh
test.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah. But you know, it's still like it changes everything. Like if I didn't have orchestra, I would really just have like nothing to look forward to in the day in school, and like you know, it would
love
there would
orchestra.
be like way less like motivation to go to school. You know,
That's
every
a good
day.
point. In my freshman year, I had orchestra for first period because I was in Philharmonia. But honestly, that was like, it was so much fun because I got to show up to school early and I was actually excited about the first class of the day. And now I have it sixth period and I have to wait for that excitement to trickle in because it takes so long to get the sixth period.
Yeah, but I feel like orchestra, it also depends not just on who's in your orchestra, but specifically who's around you.
Mm.
Like when I'm like with my stand partner, I don't really like to have someone who's super serious or super tired, who just doesn't seem that into it. But like someone, like if we make a mistake or if we both make a mistake, that we can just laugh together. And even if our director doesn't like it or gets mad at us, it's always a bit brightening to our day, even though we don't do it again for the class period.
I've had Mr. Porter shush me quite a few times.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like cellos are kind of.
Wait, aren't we all cellos? Are you cello?
Yes.
I'm a violin.
Oh, it's okay. You can be an honorary cello
What do you
today.
mean it's okay? It's
You can be an
I'm a
honorary
proud
cello.
violin.
You're a
I
cello
don't want to
today.
be a cello.
He's a good violin.
I don't know about that.
What
But
do you mean? You're in
I'm
Sinfonia.
a proud violin.
You're in Sinfonia. That's like good. Like, you're in high school. Sinfonia as a freshman. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Good job. Great job, Charles.
I feel like there are too many violins for you to really feel a personal connection with each of them. Because when you're a cello, like everyone in your section,
Oh, that's
is
weird,
in your,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's in
You
your
only know people in your section.
yeah. But when you're a cello, you know everyone in your immediate vicinity
Mm.
really well, and like you can just look at them, you make eye contact, and sometimes you just start laughing for no reason.
You know, like when you're a violin, there's no need to have a personal connection with every violin because you have like the firsts and the seconds. It's kind of
Segregated.
Are you saying the
It's
firsts
not-
are better than the seconds?
I'm not saying the first are better than the second.
That's
like
crazy.
we change. The first are not bad. I've been a second violin for like most of my time in orchestra. It's.
Wait, you're first?
But yeah, but like not for long, man. I don't know. I mean, I've been a second violin a lot. I've been a first violin too. I feel like the connection with your section is still there. As a violin, it's just maybe not as like close as the cellos because the cellos have less people. But we sound cool.
I wish I could actually get to like know the people on the other side of my orchestra because I only know the cellos and a couple of violas because they'll sit next to me and either we're in the same grade so I know who they are and I'll talk to them. But everyone who's on the opposite side I only talk to if I'm lucky at concerts or during socials, which is good. It's good to have socials at the very minimum.
Yeah, I do feel lucky because most of the people in Sinfonia Orchestra are, even the violins, viols, I know pretty much everyone, even if not that well. I know who they are, they know who I am. We've had a couple of interactions because they're just so involved. We're all so involved. And I feel like that involvement does seem to go down as the orchestra level goes down, and I'd love to have more of that because I'd love to know more people.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I think we're about done here. Unless anyone wants to add anything. We've been running it for about 30 minutes. Any comments?
Orchestra is great.
Thank you. All
If
right.
you're listening to this and you're not in orchestra, join orchestra
Join orchestra. That's our
now,
call to action.
Now. Join now.
immediately.
Do it whenever, honestly. You can join orchestra at any point of your
No,
life.
no, no. Do it now.
But it's never too late though. You could be like 60 and starting orchestra. Like we will. What actually? Yeah, just end it there.
What do you mean, actually?
End it there.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us. This has been your host, Vicky, accompanied by
Rithik.
Charles.
Andrew Pooh.